Ninja Online, guys. Welcome back to Shadowrun Returns. This is Chapter 7, and when we last left off, we had saved Coyote. We brought her back to the Seamstresses Union. We're in the basement right now, the safe house. Want to talk to Dr. Sarah Castle, and then we're going to head upstairs. In a Shadowrunner circles, the term doctor is often used quite liberally to describe any sawbones with a needle and thread. But in this case of the Union's residential medical expert, nothing could be further from the truth. The safe house boasts a fully equipped medical suite, complete with shamanic fetishes that is sixth world medicine of the highest caliber. The doctor herself is unassuming sort, perhaps the type to go unnoticed entirely. If not for the sprightly spirits preached on her shoulder like her own personal gargoyle. The spirit's burning eyes follow you constantly, even as the doctor's own eyes are buried in her charts. However, she does look up long enough to acknowledge your approach. I'm Dr. Castle. I understand you were instrumental in bringing Coyote back to us. Thank you for that. You're welcome, Doc, and I gotta say that was some work you did on her. Your talents must be going to waste down here. High praise for a simple arm swap. Especially since she wouldn't let me repair her face. She notes your eyeball in the facilities. I can tell you're surprised to find a full-service med bay under a dive bar in a slum. Don't be. This is a Shadowrunner bar, after all. For a purveyor of cyberware and trauma kits, there is no better place to set up a practice. I patch runners up, install and maintain their cyberware, and I provide medical supplies for their runs. I may not be as mobile as Doc Wagon, but I'm the next best thing. Can I help you with anything? Let me see your medical supplies first. I just want to take a look at everything she has. What about the cyberwares? What do you have available? So these are augmentations that I can get. Everything I get here basically increases me dramatically. So for example, if I get the data jack, I need that for riggers and deckers that want to use smart link weapons. I use that to plug into I don't know the right word, data ports, I guess. But I need that, like, that's a really primary thing for most stuff in this game. But as you can see looking at here, there's legs, bone lacing plates, eyes, arms, dermal plates, like everything's here. Basically, whatever you get will increase your stats in some type of way, but you can only do so much to your body. So we have 6 essences. As you can pay attention here, you'll see each thing costs a certain percentage of an essence. So that means I can only do upgrades up to a total of 6 essence. So for example, I could do 2 arms, which would be 3 essence, and then I could do a leg, which would be 2 essence, and I could do an eye, which would be another one, which would equal 6 essence. I don't think there's really anything I want to upgrade. There might not be anything I will upgrade ever, but we'll see. So we're gonna come back down here in a second. First, I want to jump upstairs just to deliver the stones to Mr. Delilah, and then we'll continue on. I need 5 karma so I can get range combat up to 5. We already did everything I wanted to do with outfits, weapons, and the sorts. Thankfully, I haven't had to use med kits or anything like that yet. Later in the game, I'm sure I'm gonna have to, but we'll cross that bridge when I get there, of course. Okay, so I'm looking for Mr. Delilah, which I think he's in this front room, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. Maybe I talked to him. Maybe it is Van Grass I talked to. No, it's over there. I was going to say, I don't know how I missed that, but when you're in this room, you don't see it, so... There's Mr. Delilah. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Well, I get to do my favorite thing, more reading. I wish I was better at reading, because then it would just flow more fluently and be better. Because I often wonder about my commentaries, but when I watch my videos back, like, I'm not as bad as I think. I do usually flow consistently and coherently, for lack of a better word. But when I'm reading, oh my god, I butcher it so bad, it's horrible. Mr. Delilah looks small and tough, but on occasion, I'm going to interrupt that there. On occasion, I do read really well, but then on most other times, I think I'm just trying to read too fast and I jumble a lot of words, but I don't know. Mr. Delilah looks small and tough, with an untraceable shoddy on his back and a heavy vest under his trench coat. He's got the air of someone who gets things done and occasionally does them himself. He might be an ex-runner, one of the rare ones smart enough to move over to management when he felt his reflexes slowing down. What do you want? Mr. Delilah, we have business to discuss. What business? I got no business with you. Coyote sent us. At the mention of Coyote, he finally gives you his full attention. Why didn't you say so? Coyote is late and my client is getting anxious. Where is she? She's getting stitched up. No kidding. Well, whatever. She's tough. She'll pull through. So, who are you two? Oh, okay. There's Paco right there. Cyber Ninja? He's Paco. Great. We're all introduced. Now, give me my stones. Let's give him all the stones. This isn't our job. It was Coyote's. In an instant, there's a jeweler's scope on his eye, moving quickly through what appears to be the most valuable stones. He stops when he finds what appears to be an ordinary pebble inscribed with Hebrew characters. That's the one. He pockets it. Okay, you did good, but you're late, and Coyote knows that in this case, late equals no payment. But in feeling monogamous tonight, so you guys can keep the rest of the gems as your reward. Deal. Mr. Delilah looks you up and down, takes you all in. Listen, you look like the sort of man who might run a crew of your own one day. Might need a little talent with when that happens. You can come to me, I'll set you up. He dismisses you with a wave. See, other times I don't even feel like I'm reading fast, I just feel like I'm fucking dyslexic. Looks like you impressed him. I no offense for those gems. Von Grass, follow me. Alright, let's get rid of these gems. Von Grass is fiddling with his cyber eye while nodding on his PDA. You're back, still busy. What's your story? I can see you're a busy man. He nods his head. That's right. And? So I wouldn't bother you if I hadn't come into possession of these rare stones. You have his attention. Rare stone, Let's see how these rare stones. You hear the servers in Von Grass's cyber eye whir as a magnifying lens slip into position. He bends his head over the stones for 2 seconds, maybe less. Where'd you get this, Drek? A gumball machine? I'll give you 1,000 for them. See, if I had Charisma 5, Strength 6, or Etiquette Academic, I could get more, but... Sounds good. Pay me. Done. Give me your cred stick. I mean, we got payment, so... That's all I could really ask for. Alright, let's come back down. Sorry, let's do what we came back down here to do and check Sam's bunk. The bunk is a mess and reeks of booze. Searching through the sheets, blankets, and pillows, you find an old photograph that has seen a lot of wear. Let's look at the image of the photo. The picture is of a blonde boy and girl, both about age 14, sitting on a dock on the edge of a lake. They appear to be twins. The boy has his arm tight around the girl's shoulders and is mugging for the camera. The girl is planting a kiss on his cheek while making rabbit ears behind his head with his fingers. Check the back of the photo. Written in a woman's hand are the words, Sam and Jessica, Lake Samarish State Park, summer 2040. Let's pocket the photo. Yeah, let's return to Coyote here. I think I have to talk to Coyote now again. You're back. I think the highlights of the Wolves game will be on soon. Want to take a load off and watch it with me? Did Sam have a sister? Yeah, I think he did. He mentioned her once. It didn't sound like they got along that well. The comlink chips and the screen shows the smiling face of Officer Aguirre. If he's smiling, it must be about money. Officer Aguirre, what a pleasure to hear from you. Yeah, we're buddies. Let's go dancing soon. Listen, the Ripper got another one. The victim worked at the NTSB investigation facility down on the docks. You owe me for this. Put it on my tab. You there now? Better get here quick before McCloskey arrives. The image on your PDA dissolves as the call ends. Another Ripper murder? Where? The docks. I've got to go. Okay, listen, I want to help. You dragged me out of the Royal before something bad happened. Worst thing, getting my arm torn off. And Sam was my friend. You head to the docks and I'll see if I can track down Sam's sister, Jessica. She might be able to help us. Thanks, I appreciate the help. Take a cab to the NSTB warehouses. As far as I'm aware, I'm on my own, right? I am. And that's fine, though. Jump in a cab and we'll head down to the warehouse. Take a cab to the South Seattle docks? Yeah. That's the problem. I love playing RPG games, but I hate doing the reading. The South Seattle docks. Leaving the seamstress's union behind, you head to the docks. The Ripper killed Sam, and maybe he or she slipped up with the latest victim. Left some useful evidence. Only one way to find out. South Seattle's your typical industrial area. Grit, grime, and gray. The rain doesn't help matters any. Layers of dirt mixed with abandoned wooden pallets, repurposed into makeshift furniture for the day workers. Garbage collects in the gutters of the broken down street. Disreputable is the district's middle name. Your destination, the National Transportation Safety Board warehouse, is located on a small strip of dock towards the less maintained end of the waterfront. Despite the presence of those who linger in such places, it is quite quiet as you approach the gate. Good enough for me, I suppose. Area doesn't seem pretty quiet. Let's talk to the streetwalker. Hey, you looking for a good time? You know anything about the NTSB? Yeah, the bums around here have been stealing old crap from that place for years. Not worth my time, though. Interesting. Lone Star Guard. The guard looks bored. He toys with his gun absent-mindedly, like he might shoot something on a whim just to watch it die. Hey, you're about to trespass on corporate property. You looking to get dusted, street scum? I'm working with Lone Star on the crime scene investigation in the NTSB warehouse. Sure you are, and I'm a Lafry, the King of Dragons. Beat it. Maybe she can help me get in here. Hey, you looking for a good time? Not me, a friend of mine. I need you to have some fun with the guard by the fence around the corner. She looks at you knowingly. Alright, 20 buys, you have 5-minute distraction. Then I've got to get back to work and earn some real Naren. Excuse me. How do I get in? Well, what the fuck? There we go. Homeless man. Who raised you? A pack of wolves? That there ladder is rightfully mine. Not taking it far, just need a little boost over the fence. Oh, you're breaking into the NTSB warehouse too. If you see any of them airplane blankets or pillows, snag me one. Will do. There we go. Like the guy won't see this, but I was just thinking, why don't you just like kick that in or something, but I guess maybe not. Karma gained 3. That should put me above, yeah, to 7 now. Let's go ahead and spend that karma. Need to get that range combat up. That leaves me with what, 2? Next one is 5. Okay. Not mistaken, I remember having to get into a pretty big fight here. I could be wrong though. Just gonna take a quick look around without getting into too much trouble. You know, I'm gonna do whatever I can to take in this stuff. Phosphorus grenade, eh? Ooh. Let's trade out the regular grenade for the phosphorus grenade. That's a concussion grenade. I'm going to send that out into my stash so I can sell that later. Trust me, there's going to be at one point or another when I'm going to want to use these items I'm finding. That's not right now, though. I don't want to get too close to that guard in case he does see me, so let's just get out of here. Head into the building. The warehouse. Inside the large gray warehouse is as typical as the outside. High ceilings, adorned with girders and rickety catwalks, top a huge utilitarian room. Concrete and steel walls meet a concrete floor. This is a place for storing things and nothing more. Despite the quiet on the outside, the inside is a hornet's nest of Lone Star officers going about their business. In the center of the activity is the Emerald City Ripper's latest victim. With uniforms everywhere, no one stops you at the door. It seems this case hasn't leaked to the press yet. Lone Star or no, you've got a job to do. Let's see what we can get done here. Oh god. Is that McCluskey? I don't think it is. Took your sweet time, didn't you? You know the traffic these days. Fill me in. We had time to go over the evidence while you were en route. Turns out this might not be a Ripper murder after all. I left the computer in the office over there if you want to see for yourself. The victim worked here at the NTSB warehouse as a black box researcher. NTSB? The National Transportation Safety Board. This warehouse is used to go over the wreckage from plane crashes to try and determine what happened. The Vic was in charge of their highest priority investigation at the moment. We're gone through the victim's computer and his case notes indicate he was selling secrets. Idiot kept records. I'll get you killed quick. It did. Some runner like you probably offed him to cover up some corpse master's involvement and try to make it look like a Ripper killing. Here's the office key. Check it out for yourself if you want. Let's take a big old look around first. Oh shit, there's some stuff over here. You don't need to go right now. Touché. The old poster depicts a savette young woman posing with an assault rifle. Let's see what's in these lockers over here. This appears to be the victim's locker. The door is slightly ajar. Inside you see several of the dead man's personal items. Suspect the toothbrush. The blue toothbrush is still wet from being used. It smells of mint and cigarettes. This appears to be the victim's locker. Let's see the comb. The comb is black plastic and has some wiry gray hair stuck in it. Nothing of super use to me there. Let's check the computer though. The researcher's work cyber terminal has been left on, presumably by the Lone Star investigators. Let's read the note for case file number 95. Case file number 95, Frederick Boeing jetliner, IDN number 2305, corporate owner, heirs. The plane had several mechanical issues resulting in a mayday at 3:04 a.m. on June 17, 2053. 2:45 a.m. The pilot reported that the air altimeter was reading in the negative values. 2:49 a.m. The co-pilot takes over the controls as the pilot leaves the cabin to investigate the rear of the plane. 2:58 a.m. The pilot cannot be contacted or located by a plane steward. 3:04 a.m. The co-pilot radios in a mayday. 3:12 a.m. The plane crashes into an empty field in western North Dakota. Let's read the notes for case file number 96. Case file number 96. Pratt and Whitney, unmanned, IDN number 327, corporate owner, heirs. Summary, redicated. Time log, redicated. Interesting. Notes for number 98. The file has been corrupted. Even more interesting. What about the private notes? Notes that appear on screen pertain to NTSB case file number 96, the crash of Air's jetliner near the UCAS and Sui Nation border. The crash is reportedly the result of an equipment failure. Reading further into the investigation notes. However, you find substantial evidence linking the crash to an experimental Renraku research initiative. This information could be worth a great deal to the right buyer. You download the researcher's note to your PDA. That is interesting. Pretty sure I have to come over here later, but we'll check it out right now just to see. Yeah, nothing I can do right now. I think that was locked up there, correct? Let's find out. Dude's arm is off. Yeah, it was locked. Talk to Shannon Halfsky first. You're not a cop. She looks up, watching you warily. I'm an independent. What's your relationship to the dead man? Suspicion in her voice and eyes depart almost instantly when the subject turns to the deceased. He's my brother. I've been trying to speak with him, but I'm afraid his spirit is too disoriented by his recent journey to answer me. You're a shaman? Yes, for all the good it's doing me. If I could just make contact, I might be able to deliver justice and allow my brother's spirit to rest. Were there any other witnesses? Not so far as I can tell. Not among the living, anyway. Realization then dawns, bringing the light back into her eyes. But my brother's spirit may not be alone here this night. She closes her eyes and concentrates, droning a low chant you can barely hear. Yes, there are others, other spirits who may be of help. Her features harden in frustration as if she's searching for something that remains elusive. Sighing, she opens her eyes and fixes you with a stare. But I can't do it alone. Well, what do you need? This warehouse contains the spirit of plane crash victims trapped between worlds. They wish to help, they wish to be heard, and I think they have something to say about my brother's murder. Lone Star won't let me in there, but you seem to have the run of place. If you can find personal items that belong to the victims, I believe that I can summon a spirit to speak with us. I need at least 2 such objects. Can you find them for me? Of course. We'll talk to her in a second here. Let's talk to Dresden. Cyber Ninja, surprised to see you here. Let me guess, Officer Aguirre tipped you off. Suppose you must have made an impression on him at the market yesterday, or your cred stick did. At any rate, he chuckles. Anyway, surprise, we've got another Ripper victim on our hand. So what's the story with this one? This victim's male, mixed, Native American descent, age 38. Based on the condition of the body, it looks like he was killed around 2 in the morning. Cause of death, unknown. Several internal organs were removed from his body after death. Quite gruesomely. I'm not sure if the killer even knew what they wanted before they started cutting. Not much else to tell you yet, really. He does have a lot of pre-existing scar tissue, so he probably had a major surgery at some point in recent history. Unfortunately, with the organs gone, I cannot determine the nature of the surgery. Any idea which organ the Ripper was after this time? Well, the killer definitely took the lungs. The more I look at it, though, the more missing organs may just be eviscerated within the chest cavity. Sounds like the Ripper is taking a different trophy from each victim. Sam's liver, this guy's lungs. Any theories? Sorry, I don't do theories. I'm just a scientist who happens to prefer dead people. However, while there was massive damage in the chest cavity, I can see that the victim's lungs were transplants, which is interesting since another victim's missing heart was also a transplant. Granted, modern medicine has made organ transplants relatively easy, but it is an odd coincidence. But, as a scientist, it's just that, a coincidence. This is only the 3rd body I've personally examined. One for each other branch manager's handler. One of our other branch managers handled the other 2. If I find that more of the victims had organ transplants, I'll let you know. I'm going to take a look around. I don't think I actually took the toothbrush and comb. So let's try it again. Okay, I see pocketed comb, but what about the toothbrush? Did I pocket that already, or... I don't know where the fuck I'm going, by the way. If I could get in there, that'd be cool. Let's talk to Officer Aguirre. Maybe he can get me in that side room. What? If this was a corp hit, why'd they leave the evidence on the computer? Good catch. That information probably worth a fortune if you found a buyer. Well, I don't think my game's fucked. Maybe it is, though. You know, it wouldn't be the first time in this series. Oh no, there's a pile in there I can search. See if I can find anything in there. It's hard to say whether this is a heap of items and refuse recovered from a plane crash or simply trash. This hasn't been taken out yet. Dig through the trash. Sticky substance of some sort seems to have seeped through the trash pile, and your hands are quickly covered with the stuff. After searching for a minute, you unearth a handful of interesting items. Let's inspect the earring. The earring is made out of burnished steel, formed into the shape of small salmon. An intense primal fear washes over you as you touch its surface. This must be one of the items the shaman was looking for. You take the earring. What about the dented lunchbox? A dented tin lunchbox that's seen better days. You can barely make out the face of a grinning troll on the front. What about that cred stick? Surprisingly, the cred stick is still functional. You slot it into your PDA and 200 Neuron is added to your account. I think I have the 2 items I need, yeah. Coolio. Let's go back to, can't remember her name right now. Shannon Halfsky, that's what it is, Shannon. Feels as though you have found enough objects. Yes, here they are. You hand her the objects you've found. She closes her eyes and chants over them for a time. When her eyes open again, they're filled with tears. Thank you. These items are all I will need. It shouldn't take me long to... The hell is all this? Uh-oh. I think we're busted. Officer Aguirre trails after the detective, only meeting your eyes for a moment. She's the victim's sister, sir. This is a crime scene, officer, not some sellish drum circle. Isn't it standard procedure to contact the next of kin? Ma'am, consider yourself contacted. Now get the hell out of here. Come on, if we stay much longer, I'm liable to do something I'd regret, or worse, something I enjoy. Apparently, fuck. We gained 5 karma from that. I think that's more than enough to go for an upgrade. Let's get that rifle 5. I have 2 karma. Do I want to save it for quickness 6 or do I want to start in something? I think I'll save the rest of it. Stalk the sky and see what she says, or Shannon rather. That man is an ass. She stares daggers at McCloskey from across the warehouse. There's no helping it now. I should just be grateful you were able to collect these items before those clouds carted everything off. Can we still summon the spirit? Not from here, I'm afraid. Spirits such as these have domains to which they are anchored. We need to get back in there. We'll come back later once the coast is clear. I can't stand the waiting, but I don't see any other choice. You sure you're up for this? If it means your brother's killer doesn't take another life, then yes. Thank you. Now, since we have the time, we should probably enlist some help. They might post security overnight. And I'm going to go on a limb and say you know where to find the kind of people. You could say that. Good. I'll put up the money if you find the bodies. She produces a fistful of crumpled neuron from inside a leather pouch, which is 4,000, by the way. Starts to count it out and shoves the whole wad at you. Meet me back here at midnight. The spirits will be stronger then. So we're actually going to have our first real run, I guess you could say. As you start to leave the warehouse, your comlink chirps and the face of Coyote pops on the screen. Coyote looks tense. Hoy, Cyber Ninja, you in the middle of something? No problem. What do you need? Backup. Her jaw sets. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was born in the Royal. BTL pushers like Steve J ran the squads. Ran my world when I was growing up. Sounds nasty. Her brow furrows. It was, for all kind of reasons. I have a cousin, Gino, who's been missing for months. He hit the sprawl about a year ago and immediately fell in with some tweakers. Bad guys. They hooked him on high-amp dream chips and started using him for all sorts of dreck. I tried to help him, but he pushed me away. Then he disappeared. I've been shooting up BTL labs ever since then to try and find him. Guessing you have a new lead. It's not a lead. Her face lights up. She's running hot. Has a serious edge. I know exactly where he is this time. Got an old friend who eyeballed